dudes and dudettes, and a happy, glorious morning for me, and a happy, glorious afternoon to you. Already asking what this is, and this is breakfast for me. You're probably wondering, what is it? Well, it's actually kind of a hash. Let's see, it's got potatoes, hash brown form, of course, ham, 2 eggs, salt, pepper, a little bit of chipotle powder to give it a little bit of smokiness, and a little bit of parsley flakes. And I'd share some with you too, but they haven't exactly gotten the whole molecular beaming thing down yet. Until they get that, no, I guess I can't share it with you. Anyways, that's not why we're here today. So today is Monday, and I goofed up. But so today's video was actually supposed to be the continuation of the Pacific Northwest story time that released. That was supposed to be today, but someone, not gonna say who, but someone forgot to set the schedule to Monday, and apparently it went on air sometime between Friday night and Saturday morning, which is when I'm doing this right now. Anyways, not a bad thing. I do like to keep on a schedule, but now I don't have something for Monday because that was supposed to be for Monday. I don't have anything at the moment, so which is why I'm going to do this, and throw in a little bit of editor-director commentary too. But the only bad thing is it just didn't air on Monday at 5 o'clock like I like. But I like to keep things on a schedule because it keeps me on a schedule, you know? It almost like a goal thing. But anyways, it was actually pretty cool that you guys got to see it a little bit earlier. So it was actually more of a treat than anything, like a unintentional treat. But anyways, we had a lot of fun doing that story time, and like I said in a previous video, it was like 2 hours of footage that I had to go through, and about a quarter of that, maybe a little more than a quarter, was basically us going way off tangent, not even relevant to the story. And that was actually more the first half. The first half was painful to edit because there was just so many tangents and holes in the story where I had to kind of cut and kind of flip around a little bit so it would make sense to what the story actually was. We still got a little off. Actually, no, it was still quite a bit off actually. But yeah. Anyways, so one of the major holes that was in the story was we kind of got the details right when we first got to Astoria. What we didn't mention was that after Donnie's dry belt snapped, we didn't know, of course. I pointed out to a coffee stand that was just across the intersection. I told him to meet me there. That's where I'll be. So I bolted off to the coffee stand. He pushed his bike up to the coffee stand. He rolled it up right next to me, and we're looking around it. He gave it a little throttle and put it back into gear, gave it a little throttle, and it didn't move forward or lug or anything like it would if it had the dry belt attached to it, and it would stall or do all sorts of funky things. And so I'm actually looking at his dry belt side, and I'm just noticing that it looks just a wee bit lighter after that intersection. And so I said, I think you're missing something over here. And so he looks over and he's like, what? And we both looked at each other and said, the dry belt. That's when we figured out the dry belt was out in the intersection, and that fiasco started happening. Well, anyways, there's a guy on a Beal that came back around, asked us what was going on. We looked out of town, which we were, and Astoria is a small place, so it's probably one of those places where most people know most people, and well, we probably didn't look the part. Maybe we did, I don't know. But I think he actually saw our license plates too, so that was dead giveaway. So we told him what happened. Donnie's dry belt snapped, and we don't know where to go find one. Well, he happened to know a couple motorcycle shops, and since I was the only one with a working bike, I actually followed him to like 3 different shops, and each one said if they ordered one, it'd be a 5-day wait, and that was that would be our entire trip. We would be stuck in Astoria, waiting for the drive belt. Now, the shop that we mentioned in the story, I think it's like Harley Davidson Northwest or something. That's the one I went back to. Those are the guys that came out to go get Donnie's bike after I told them what was going on. And they're the ones that bought the drive belt for their shop, so they got the Oregon no tax, which is really nice because then it dropped the price down to literally like $207, which it would have been like 250 or some shit like that. So yeah, then once they bought it, you know, the next morning I went out and got it, came back, and we got on our way. So that was the kind of the first loophole. And I'm not going to go through all of them because we actually like how it turned out, as stupid as it is, and as much of piss heads as we are. According to Brit Ninja 88, yeah, we are piss heads. We embrace it, all of it. So the other minor hole in the story too was when we were talking about when we were going down that gravel road and we had to jump onto the side of the cliff to get out of this. I think it was a Dodge Ram. It was like a 2006 Dodge Ram. And yes, the mirrors did come out quite far. I don't know about 10 feet far, but no, over exaggeration, you know, yada yada yada. That part we got mostly right. The in-between part, we actually didn't mention. We actually spent a day visiting with friends and sightseeing, touring Coeur d'Alene. So that part we didn't mention. It's not really necessary to the story either, but it does kind of fill in the gap because we didn't do that little fiasco and then jump straight into going to Harrison. No, that was like 2 days later. We remembered now, the reason why I led was not because it was a little bit because of my brights being brighter than Donnie's. The other reason for that, as we were thinking, is he has this little side mount tail light that's like that big, and I could not see it for the life of me. So when I'm going around these sharp corners, they're like 90-degree corners, I had to slow down to like 5-10 miles an hour just so I can see where the lines are and where the water is and where it's staying and all that stuff. And so he actually stopped about 5 minutes into it, and I finally caught up, and he asked what's going on. And I said, yeah, I can't see your taillight. I have no way to judge how the corners are going to be and make my predictions. And so that's when we decided, since I have the bigger taillight, I'll lead, and that way Donnie can see the corners, and because my brights were brighter, I could see the road better. So that was the other minor hole in the story. There's a couple others in there, but like I said, I'm not going to go through it, all of them. Anyways, we had a lot of fun during this trip. It was an absolute blast. And we had even more fun. I don't know about even more fun. It was a different kind of fun. We had fun telling the story and how we told it. We're sticking to it. We're not changing much about it. And besides, it's on YouTube now, so what's done is done. Anyways, so yeah, we definitely have more stories that will be coming out, especially, you know, with Donnie. He was my riding buddy for the longest time, which I've mentioned in past videos. So we've actually done a lot of rides together, found ourselves in crazy, stupid situations. We have more stories. There'll definitely be more, both with Donnie and, you know, without as well, because, you know, story time isn't always gonna have Donnie. He's not always gonna be around to do story time, so that's something we all know, you know, you guys and us guys. So point of the matter is, we had so much fun doing story time. The first story time I had fun. This story time that we just did, we had lots of fun doing, and we're happy you guys enjoy it too. I mean, we love telling stories. Anyways, gotta try and keep this short. You know, I've said my piece basically, and I want to get to my breakfast. That's probably cold now. Still gonna taste good. You will taste good, even if you're cold, good breakfast. Anyways, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the shit out of that like button. If you want to become a subscriber and you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to get a notification that a new video is on the pages, go ahead and hit that ring bell. And if you dislike the video for whatever reason that might be, go ahead and hit the dislike button. What happens if you hit that dislike button? I don't know. Something will happen. Doesn't matter anymore, but something will happen. Anyways, take it easy, make it breezy, and I will see you guys next Monday. Peace. I'm gonna enjoy my breakfast now. I'll see you guys later.